Hi, everyone. Welcome to week number 8. You guys are doing so good. Keep up the good work. It's really great to see your efforts in the discussions and your assignments, and just the light that you bring to the class, each one of you individually. And keep up the good work. There's a few things I want to address, and then we'll talk about week number 8. The first one is so early on in this course, we talked about, and I shared the importance of getting our work done on time. And I've had this week, but also every week, really, I have someone that reaches out to me about turning in work late. And I give essentially the same answer to everyone. So, and the reason behind this is I'm trying to prepare you for success in the workforce if you're not already in sales. And if you're already in sales, you kind of know the drill. If there's an RFP or a request for proposal that is due, and they're bidding on a few different projects, and if yours is turned in late, they're probably not going to go with you, regardless of what the reason is. So I'm trying to prepare you for that, number one. Number two, if I make an exception for one, then the next student that comes, it wouldn't be fair for them either. And so that's why across the board, I just no late work now for full credit. Now I realize that this is class and that life happens and there's a lot of stuff going on for you, um, for me, for all of us. We've got a lot of stuff that we're juggling. We've got work, we've got families, we've got church, and we've got all this stuff, and we've got courses that we're doing. So that's why I have allowed that you can turn it in. It's just going to have a penalty each day that it's late. Now, keep in mind that is capped. The penalty is capped after a certain number of days. So even if you're 5 days, a week late, or whatever, you can still turn it in. It's going to have a significant penalty attached to it, but you'll get some credit for it. It's not going to be a straight zero. Okay, so I feel like that is giving you leeway to still get some credit for that. So that's the first thing. Now let's look on to week number 8. This week, we're going to talk about some very important concepts in sales and in life in general, really, and that is active listening. And part of active listening is asking good questions. Now, early on in my sales career, the first job that I had, out of college, was in sales, and I was selling training solutions to employees of large corporations. And what they trained us to do, and it applies still today, 20 plus years later, now that I'm into my career, to always be asking 5 layers deep of questions, and these are open-ended questions. So, an example, I'll share a story with you. A lady comes from a large company into my office, and I take out my pen and paper. Active listening involves, paying attention. And for me, it was hard for me to keep everything straight in my mind. So I would write down stuff as I was talking. So, or as the person was talking, she comes in and she says, "Hey, I want to take this management course," which is great. And the tendency for us as salespeople, when someone says, "Hey, I want to buy," we jump right into it and we want to start talking about the features and benefits of what it is that we're offering. But remembering that 5 layers deep in your questioning, I pumped the brakes and I said to her, "Well, why do you want to take that course?" And she said, "Well, I want to get ahead with work. I manage a team, but if I can get to that next level and I take this course, it'll help me get to that next level and get a promotion." Okay. Well, why is that promotion important to you? What's that going to do for you? And she proceeds, it's going to give me advancement. It's going to bring me more income. And, again, the tendency, we've gone 3 layers deep in there. We know that she wants more money, and all these things are good, but I didn't think that we'd hit the real reason for why she wanted to do this. So I asked another question. Well, how is more money going to impact your life? And she stops, and then she says, "Well," and she starts getting personal then, and she starts talking about she's single. She's got 3 kids at home. And she starts just sharing a lot of information. And then I knew that we were onto something. And then I asked one more question. Well, how do you think your kids' lives are going to be impacted when you get that more money? Then she starts to see a vision. She starts to really connect with how this training, how this product essentially is going to impact her life. And she actually got emotional. She broke down, and not only did she sign up, but she brought many of her colleagues in and signed up as well, going back to asking for referrals after that. So that's just one example of many. I did it right that time. 20 years later, I still a lot of times am like, man, I should have asked a few more questions, you know? So it's always a work in progress. But that's an example of the importance of this week's assignment in sales in general, in life too, in relationships. It's really important to really try to understand that other person and actively listen. So you're going to have the essay that's due, that is how to win friends and influence people. It has to do with active listening. And then you're also going to have the discussions where you're going to talk about what you've learned in the videos you're going to watch and the things you're going to read this week with active listening. So um, keep up the great effort. We'll see you in class. Looking forward to week number 8.